Hello YouTubers, this is SD65 saying that in case you were wondering about Deadliest Warrior, they had posted something new about the top 7 legendary swords. And if you're wondering and have not checked out the site yet, I am here to help you to learn about these. If you do not care, stop right now. But in case you're wondering, these are it. Note that some of these words are difficult to pronounce, so just please bear with me. Number 7, joyeuse. It may mean joyful in French, but this weapon was held by Charlemagne, a man who was the king of France, emperor of Romania, conquered Italy, and crowned Emperor Augustus by Pope Leo III. Once known as the only sword known to be used for coronation ceremonies for the king of France. Today it rests in the Louvre Museum in Paris. There are rumors that it was supposedly forged from the same materials as Ronald Sterodal and Ogier's katana. Number 6, the Sword of Guzheng. Unearthed in 1965 in Hubei Province, China, this legendary sword is a beautiful example of Chinese metallurgy. King Guzheng of Yu, whose reign was between 496 BCE and 465 BCE, allegedly used this sword during the last major struggle between Yu and Wei, where he paved the way to victory. King Guzheng was known for using an unusual war tactic, sending prisoners out to the front lines of battle to commit suicide with decapitation in order to strike fear into the hearts of the enemy. The Sword of Guzheng is not without its own unusual characteristics. This sword has barely seen rust in over 2,000 years. Marengo Sword. The gold-encrusted Marengo sword belonged to none other than Napoleon Bonaparte himself. Before he was emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte drove Austrian forces out of Italy during the Battle of Marengo in June 1800, strengthening his political image. It is said that the sword's design is Egyptian-inspired. Napoleon noted during his Egyptian campaign that curved swords could slice through people like butter, so he wanted to give himself an edge in battle. Number 4, the Tizonos, the sword of El Cid Campeador. This sword has medieval Castilian written all over it, literally, wielded by El Cid Campeador, a legendary knight who conquered and ruled Valencia until his death. This is a true relic of Spain. El Cid was a student of Roman and Greek military strategic books, often used in psychological warfare as he fought against the Moors in Spain during the 10th century. Number 3, which is the Wallace Sword. Standing at 5 feet 6 inches and weighing in at 6 pounds, this killer claymore was used by William Wallace, a Scottish patriot who fought courageously during the Wars of Scottish Independence at the end of the 13th century. After Wallace was victorious at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1296, where the sword was allegedly used, Wallace became the guardian of Scotland. Fortunately, his battling came to an end in 1305 when he was captured and hung for high treason by the English. Still, Wallace's legend lives on to this day. Number 2, Tomoyoki Yamashida's sword. The Tiger of Mala, Great General Tomoku Yamashita of Imperial Japanese Army served during World War II. Yamashida's claim to fame is the fact that he invaded and conquered Malaya and Singapore in 1942. The real story here is, though, that this resulted in the absolute largest surrender in British history, when Yamashida's 3,000 soldiers effectively captured 13,000 British, Indian, and Australian troops. Crocea Mors, sword of Julius Caesar. The legendary Crocea Mors, Latin for Yellow Death, was Julius Caesar's sword that he took to battle against the British. According to the History of Kings written by Geoffrey and Monmouth, this sword was said to inflict a mortal wound to anyone it touched. When Prince Nennius of Britain fought Caesar, Caesar lodged the sword into his enemy's shield, forcing him to retreat. It was later that Prince Nennius used the powerful Crocea Mors to slay as many Romans as he could. Oddly enough, it seemed the legend may have been true, as 15 days after Nennius fought Caesar, he died from a wound inflicted by the Crocea Mors. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little presentation by me, and I guess that's it. Have a good week, and this is SD65 signing